Hello Gemini, thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main read, I'm using the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor, and for the supportive cards, the Angel Answer cards by Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I only pull out the Oracle cards as needed. First half is for relationships, second half is for single people. I'm seeing something going on here. Things seem like I'm feeling like all of the first thing I'm getting here is that you might have more money than you're willing to let your partner know about. You have something you're holding to the side, but there might be down here more? I don't know. There might be a good reason for that. This is interesting because the first thing I'm getting is deceit about money. It seems about money. This is on your side with holding things back. I feel like you're being very careful with money. And you may be pushing forward that there's less than there actually is. When in truth, you have the cornucopia. You have, I feel like you're quite well. And the reason you're pushing this forward is because you want to go a different direction. You're trying to move things in a different direction, so you're showing, or you're acting like, I feel like you're pushing forward that there's not enough money to go a certain direction, even though there is. And what's holding your partner back is that they're trying to do something. I feel like you might even be holding back your side, or like holding back some type of financial backing for your partner. On their side, they seem to be trying to go forward, but they can't without the funding, and they can't seem to pull it together. Whatever the situation is, it feels like it's a lot about money. And right now, it's like you have the finances to do what your partner wants, but you're like playing it off like you don't really. And you're giving them that impression. Now, your partner seems a little confused because you're saying there's not enough, but they seem to think that there should be. And they're like, I feel like they're trying to butter you up because they think that you might be holding back a little bit. I feel like they know you well enough that they realize you might be holding back a little bit. And they're trying to butter you up a little bit. You're feeling like, though, that this isn't like the direction you want to go. You got two cards for where you're standing. You got this third eye chakra, and you got the crown chakra. And when I'm looking at these two, you really don't want to go this way. You really don't. And you're thinking something else. There's something better in the future is what you're thinking. It's why you're holding back. You have control here. When it says up to you with this card, I feel like you have control. You really do have control because you're holding the pocketbook. You're holding the purse strings. You have the money. You have the wallet, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like you're looking at this like this isn't the direction that's best for both of us. And you're just like, I'm not going to be a part of that. And you're just trying to make it a non-issue. Now, your partner really wants this. Like, they're a little sad about it. But you're kind of making the situation what you want it to be. I feel like it's about money. It's centering on money. But whatever they want to do, and I feel like they're very caught up in it, they feel like they need to do this. This is something they really want to do. you don't really want to do it, so you're holding back. You're trying to derail the situation because you don't want to be a part of where it's currently going. I feel like you have another idea. Like there's some like this current situation. It's not that you don't have the money to do it, but you seem to have control over the finances to stop it from happening. There's something else you want to do that this is going to conflict with, so you're trying to do everything you can to move it away from this. That being said, the way this seems to work out, your partner really, I feel like they're not letting it go. They feel that this can happen. Even though you might be telling them there's not enough, they feel like there is. And they're continuing to communicate this to you. And you're starting to feel kind of boxed in. What helps the situation, on your partner's side, they're at this teetering point. Is it going to happen or not? And with this, they're still, see what's happening is that they're not giving up. They're not giving up. This seems to be what's helping them. They're not giving in. And I feel like you may. Even though you're not really into it and you want something else to happen, I feel like they do wear you down. And you got the Healer of Ages, Forgiveness, and you got the Goddess of the Moon temple. The Moon? Goddess of the Moon. Which to me says, I kind of feel like you're changing your mind. And I almost feel like the way this is pushed forward, especially with the forgiveness on your side, that's very interesting. Because I feel like somehow, almost, it feels like the forgiveness is coming towards you, like you're being forgiven. And it goes forward. Like, I don't know, I feel like you just kind of, you let loose of the situation. You're like, all right, here. Because they don't seem to let up. And they're trying to get it to go forward. They're really feeling that this is something they want to do. They're holding strong. They're holding strong to it. Like with the garden and the gate especially, it feels like they're already in the garden and they're aware of it. But if they can't get it from inside the garden, where like the financial backing, they'll find it elsewhere. And I feel like this is actually them trying to work with you. Like if you can't help me with it, I'll find some other way because I'm gonna do this. And it's like at that point you're like, all right. Like I feel like your partner just keeps pushing and pushing, and they're not relenting, and they're gonna, if you can't help them, they're gonna find some other way to make it happen. And then you're like, all right, we have enough, or you're like, somehow you get it together, and you're like, all right, here, we have some, but I was trying to save it, and blah 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 blah. But I feel like the forgiveness is an interesting situation here because usually when it's on when it's on their side, they're the one giving the forgiveness, or it's like the advice for them to forgive. But I feel like you're being forgiven. Because I feel like you change your mind, and you're like, all right, if it means that much to you, yes, but I was holding it back for this reason or that reason. I feel like it's fine, but you do give in at the end. Your partner seems to be well aware of how you work. Because they're standing in the yin-yang. They got the yin-yang on their side, which means, to me, that they're aware that there's a little bit of a dance that has to go on here. And the fact that you're kind of holding back a little bit is something they're expecting. Sometimes they hold back a little bit. They feel like if they ignite the passion on your side, you'll go along with it a lot easier, but it doesn't seem to be happening. Yet they seem to be aware that there's more money there than you're telling them there is. So they strategize and they find a way to make you give in to them. And they're like, well, if you're not going to give me the money, I'll find another way to get the money. And then that seems to be what breaks through. They're not giving up. I feel like they're just relentless, and you just get tired of it. And you're just like, all right, here. I think the advice here is to be careful in the beginning. Hopefully this hits in a spot where you're not really being, because what holds the situation back on your side is deception and trying to get things to go in another direction. It seems to be a problem. It seems to be what causes the whole situation for you. Hopefully this hits for you at a point where you realize trying to change the direction here isn't going to work. And if you just kind of find a way to go with it, you might be able to move it more in the direction you want by going with it in the beginning, even though I don't think you really want to. Because I feel like the whole thing is here, you're trying to change the direction of where things are going, and you're very hell-bent on it in the beginning, yet it doesn't seem to work out that way. And even though you're trying to move it in a different direction, your partner just is relentless and strategizes and gets you to give in. And then you give in, and then you have to kind of eat crow a little bit. I feel like that's kind of what happens. But all's forgiven, everything's fine, and things keep moving. Anything else? I think we're good here. Okay. Well, let me go into singles then. Singles for Gemini. Let's put these cards away. These cards are similar sizes, so sometimes when I end up picking them up and shuffling them again, the two decks kind of merge a little bit. I think I cut my nails too short. I can't seem to grab things today. Alright, so Gemini, single Gemini. Single Gemini. Messages for single Gemini. Empowering messages for Gemini. Single Gemini, empowering messages to help them move forward. Seems like it's kind of starting to fight me here. Well, maybe not yet. Single Gemini. Alright. Got a double card at the top here. Seems to be a thing when I flip out cards lately. Every now and then I get some double cards. Alright, we got... So for single Gemini, we got the deception card for you again. We got it in your thoughts. I'm wondering if it's money for the single one too. Money might be the theme of the moment for Gemini. Whether you be single or you be in a relationship. It seems like that's quite the strong theme. Okay. So, single Gemini, where you're starting from, you have appreciation. I feel like you're trying to get out there and find, or there's... Is there someone there? No. I feel like you're looking to find someone. Okay, well, single Gemini. How odd. Your overall energy is the thinking woman and the temple path. Okay. So, of course, like I always say, don't get caught up in the gender of the cards. But the thinking woman here, I feel like she's trying to be a little covert, a little camouflaged in with the surroundings, which I've never really noticed with this card before. But she has, she's done some work thinking about things, and she's trying to really find out who she wants, or I feel like you know who you want, what attributes you're looking for, And now you're just trying to find somebody who fits. So you've put a lot of thought into this. But I feel like you're searching for that person that fits at this point. Okay. For that reason, this is why we have the deceit card in here, I think, with the recovery. In your thoughts, you're like, I don't want finances to be a factor here. Whether it be your financial situation or your partner's situation, you don't want that to be a factor. So if you have a bit of money, you're trying to act like you don't. If you don't have a lot, if you don't really have that much money, you're trying to act like you do. You're trying to not make it a factor. You're trying to match. I feel like you're more trying to match the other person. You want a non-issue. That's what you want. Something about this situation you feel has caused problems before. Now, it is a general read. My first thought is the money thing, though, because it seems to be really prominent, and it was in the last part, and I'm wondering if that's why. That being said, something you feel that you're unfairly judged on, you're trying to keep out of the situation. So if it's not money, it's something you feel you're unfairly judged on, and you're trying to remove it from the dating situation. Okay. That's why the recovery's there, too, because you're like, I want to see how people react to me without that being a factor. I feel like the environment is really good for you right now. You got the Sun card here, which means either you have a lot of options or you're honing in and you're finding exactly what you want, and it's there. Knowing what you want, it is there. It's the Sun card in your environment makes me feel really that what you're looking for is there. I think we're just going to go through the quick base of this, because this seems to be starting out where you've been thinking about this for a while and you're trying to pull somebody towards you that fits a certain way. I feel like you have a certain idea about what you want. Like, I feel like it's kind of specific, like a certain look, a certain demeanor, a certain type of job. Like, I feel like you have really like honed this in. Of course, it's a general read, but for the majority of you, I feel like you know exactly what you're looking for. Some of you might not have it down to those type of details, but like type of sense of humor, type of romantic demeanor, type of lifestyle, like athletic or whatever. You've been thinking about it for a while. You've been going through this in your mind. Who do I want in my life? You seem like you're pulling that towards you. You get the contract card just before, like this is the last part before the current situation. And I feel like this is more talking about communication and kind of getting out there and getting things in order. It's strange because when I view this card in my mind, I'm getting the thinking man. I'm seeing the thinking man here that kind of matches the thinking woman. So I feel like this was the precursor to where you are now. This is where you kind of maybe wrote things down, thought things out. It seems like an extension of this card, which is weird. Because if you notice the two cards, with the magician in the mirror, he seems like he's almost a scale himself with his arms out like that, and he's balancing the fire and the ice. And then you have the contract, and you have the scale on that. So I feel like you started out emotionally what you're looking for, and then you like kind of added up like what type of financial person do you want, what type of this, like do I want a good planner, do I want somebody who's a little bit more impulsive, somebody who's good with kids, somebody who doesn't want kids. I feel like that's what the contract thing is talking about. This seems to be like it seems like you've really been quite detailed about what you're looking for. This is very interesting. It's a lot of mental activity going on here, which Gemini is very good with that. So as you come into the center, you get the goddess of the moon, and you get the journey card. the goddess of the moon, I feel like you're energized and ready to go. You are really feeling optimistic. You're feeling it right now. And you're excited, and the world is your oyster. And the journey card, like you're getting out there and doing it. Oddly enough, the two of these cards together, I feel like you're setting out to make this happen. And you're feeling like what you're looking for is out there, and you're gonna find it right away. That's how you're feeling. It's interesting how those two cards are coming out. Now that being said, as you go into the future, oh, look at this. There's a card hiding behind there that I didn't see. Now, you're starting off with this. There's somebody who gets your attention. And you like them, and you're not sure right off the bat. But they're pulling you in, like something about them that you like. They might be showing you attention that you like. Something is going the way you like it. And you're wondering, is this going to match what I'm actually looking for? The fact that this card was hidden behind this, I feel like this person matches your financial goals. What you're looking for financially, this person matches. Now that being said, I feel like this person is showing you a lot of affection, and they really like you. And you're kind of like on the fence about it. You could take it, you could leave it, that type of thing. But I feel like when the financial part pops in, you start to really think about this. You're like, you know what? Maybe I should really give this a shot. You know, because this matches what I'm looking for. This is a good thing. You're thinking, and I feel like what pushes it over the edge and get you to give it a shot is the financial standing. Oddly enough, I feel like that becomes a conflicting thought after the fact. I feel like that's why you give it a shot, you truly give it a shot, but then you get a little conflicted with it. You're just like, all right, yes, this person matches that, but is that the only reason I'm doing this? Like, because you're feeling really good about this, but I feel like you're questioning yourself. Like, am I interested in this person, or am I interested in what they can offer me financially? And I feel like you're questioning yourself. Because you weren't sure, you were like, I could take it, I could leave it, I could take it, I could leave it, and then that came into play, and you're just like, you know what, let me give it a shot. But afterwards, it's almost like you're kind of beating yourself up for that. You're just like, I can't believe I let that be the final decision maker, but I do like this person, I think. And I feel like you're conflicted. You're like, do I really like this person? Like, what am I doing? Because I feel like you're having a good time, but you're worried on why you made the decision to give this a shot. It feels like you're kind of going through this internally. That being said, I do see the outcome being a man holding a heart is what it's called. And like I always say, don't get caught up in the gender. But I feel like this is... I do feel like you fall for this person. But you might be still like... I feel like you're kind of having a moment like, is this a good thing? Like, can I measure up? I have this weird feeling like it might be, can I measure up? Something about this, I feel like you're taking a moment to get used to it. And I'm kind of getting like this skeletal feeling like when this comes forward, a man holding a heart, whatever. Like you're getting down to the bare bones of it, literally, and you're like, I do. Like it does. Like I feel like you're realizing you really do care and you really do want to be with this person. I feel like it's bothering you though that you made that decision to give them a shot based on the money, and I feel like it's kind of drawing out a little ways, and it seems to be bothering you. And I feel like where you stand financially seems to bother you a little bit, like how you add up with this person. And you might feel a little insecure about that slightly. But I do see this going forward, and it's something you're going to have to get used to going forward. It seems like at this moment, through this situation, you seem to be a little bit more centered on money than you would like to be. But it seems to keep coming forward. So for whatever reason, it just keeps coming forward, and it bothers you. Because you don't really want to be centered on money that much, it seems. Was it the 40th yawn for this one take? I don't know why. But I do see it working out, though. And the other side is very conducive. They like you a lot. They're all about it. It doesn't seem to weigh on them. It just seems to weigh on you. They know you like them for who they are. But I feel like money seems to be a factor for you, and it seems to bother you more than the other side. Because this could be the reverse, that you actually have more money than the other person. And for some reason, whatever their financial status is, it seems to fit for you. And it makes you feel comfortable. But you keep... I feel like you second guess that decision because you're realizing the reason you gave them even a shot was because they matched your financial, whatever you prefer financially for your partner to be. And you're kind of like, I don't know, it feels like it's sitting weird with you at the end here. And I feel like you kind of set it up in a way that it seems like it's weighing on your mind. It's not weighing on your partner's mind, though. Okay. I think I'm just rehashing this, so I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.